That one is just absolutely beautiful. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ghost Cats and Cryptids. I hope everybody has been having a marvelous 4th of July weekend. It's been crazy here. I worked a 10-hour shift yesterday so that the rest of my employees could have the day off. So I was exhausted, came home, relaxed, went to bed, and never saw any fireworks. So I was okay with that. Today has been a little bit more chaotic. I was tagged into a post dealing with a possible sighting in the state in down East Maine. And I've been on the phone with a woman. I was on the phone with her for most of the morning trying to get more information and permission to go to the property. And I'm still waiting to hear back on that. Welcome, everybody. Mr. B, the boss man. Richie was the first one in, and then BDA. How you doing? Glad that you've got a generator. That's very scary, the tornadoes going through like that. That's just awful. I'm glad you're okay, though. Hi, Mary. How are you? And let's see. I see Curious up there. Let's go. Miss Curious, I am so excited for her podcast to start. She has created some amazing work for the MEBRO that Richie has started up, and it's just I'm in like awe with everybody that I work with on this network. I mean, the knowledge that I learn, the talent that these guys have is just beyond words. Hey, how you doing, Richie? And yeah, I feel dwarfed. I was actually telling Wojo that we just I'm still getting settled from Charming Fair because that was a great weekend. We had some hiccups at the beginning, but I tell you what, being out in the woods with Richie, Wojo, Denny, Andy, Martin, all of them, Mike Tinsley was there. It's just, oh my word, just amazing being able to get out and research with everybody. Hey, Sam. Oh, thanks for checking in. I know you are super busy, and I'm so happy that your dad's doing so much better. Hi, Ben. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, this network is fabulous. I love the whole the support from everybody. It's amazing. And I love that this is all about respect. There's no egos here. We respect one another. We listen. We agree to disagree if that comes down to it. Not everybody's going to have the same opinion, but we don't belittle people that don't have the same opinion as us. It's a fabulous community, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I am very happy too, as well, that I made my own thumbnail this week. Everybody's been so busy, so I was like, you know what? I'm doing a show, so I want to try it out. And I sent it to Richie, and then I sent it to Sam just to get everybody's opinion. So I was very impressed. Hey, Denny. So good to see you here. I had so much fun with you guys this weekend. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I think at some point, Denny, you will get, promoted again. I don't see me staying, very high up the ladder there. It was a fun time. We had like I said, a few hiccups along the way, but I wouldn't want to be out in the woods researching with anybody else. These guys are great. It was a fabulous time. The last night that we were out doing our stuff, Stan stayed behind, and yeah, we just had so much fun. It was just an amazing time. I just look forward to it all the time. Yeah, I know I ramble, but there's purpose to it. Tyler, hi, how are you? So tonight I decided that I wanted to go over my research area because I keep telling everybody that it's not far from my house. It's a big area. I have not actually looked into the whole area. I've actually gone off because like my research area is behind me on this side. Okay. But if you go over this way, it all connects because of this one little river called Goose River. It actually flows behind my house, down around, and across the road, just a few houses down. And then it pulls out back and it's massive and it goes off into it branches off and ends up in, well, I always thought it was like this little man made pond on a friend of mine's property, but it actually is just a point of Goose River where it stops because on you come across before it loops up there, it actually goes across the road again, and it's the town line for Waldoboro and Friendship. So technically, I have Waldoboro behind me, and then I mean Friendship behind me because I live in Waldoboro. But if I go down the road here, just a quarter of a mile, you're back in Friendship, and then a quarter of a mile, you'll cross the river again, and you're back in Waldoboro, and it goes all the way down into Friendship to the Waldoboro Friendship line off of 220, which is just 5 miles from where, well, actually 2.5 miles from where I work. And the other day I was at work and somebody came in and said, Jean, have you spoken to, so-and-so? Because she had a mountain lion sighting. And I know this person that had the sighting. So I was like, wait, she didn't reach out to me. So I decided to reach out to her. She said, yes, I did. Tried to get more information, but with her working, she didn't get back to me in time. But I decided I'm going down. I know where the area is. I'm going to go check it out and look around. So I decided tonight I'll show you guys the map of my research area. I actually went in and put an X where I live. I put X's for the river and how that pattern goes. Tyler, I'm so happy you're here. I really am, because you pop in every now and then. Are you on break, or do you actually have the day off? I mean, you're always either working or eating, from what Sam says. And do you have if you have a new YouTube thing, I'd like to know about that so I can watch some of the stuff, because I was watching the other one and I thought you said you had issues. And so I figured I would just go over that, the sightings that have happened since I started, well, before I actually dove into this research in the area that people were reporting to me just because of where I work. They knew, the topic of the ghost cats and stuff. And I took today off. Well, there you go. Good for you. It's nice to have a day off, isn't it? So I'm going to pull up the map of my area so you can see that. And let's see. Get into images. And here we go. And I make sure I have the right one, because Richie, when I showed him the map, he changed something on me, and it was kind of funny when he did it. But let's see what we got here. Yes, okay. So this is a map of where I live, okay? This little red mark here is my house, the little red X at the top in between the two black X's. And the black X's, like I said, one side's the river, it goes behind my house, then it crosses over, and it goes all the way down to the left-hand corner where there's a brown X, and that's the most recent sighting I had. But I circled my area. Oh, you have to start a new one. I didn't have 50 subscribers yet, so I can't put, oh, shoot. Well, let me know the channel, though, so I can go over and subscribe, okay, Tyler? To help you get going on that. Yeah, so with it, they look like they're red, but they're brown. The big X's are all mountain lion sightings, like the two close to my home. One, the one that's kind of directly behind the red X that's below the first black one there. That happened in 2019. Hey, Jason, how are you? And the one that's over to the right of it, that one happened around 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. It happened on Hendricks Lane. The other ones, two were on Bat Cove. One was on 220, and that happened in 2019. And then the bottom one, like I said, to the left, that one was just a few days ago. And those are just the ones that I have had personally reported to me. This isn't all of them in the area, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it, or if they do, they don't really give you too much information, because there's still a lot of stigma that goes around it. They're afraid that things are gonna, the hunting laws will change, this will do this. And so everybody kind of stays closed-minded on stuff. And then you have people that just tell you you're an idiot, which I get told a lot. They are not here. Well, I've had plenty of different evidence that proves that completely wrong. NFPR. Us? What? And so these, I tried to circle the things. I don't know how well, because on my big screen it comes out really bright, but on this one that's showing ahead is pretty low. I circled like where my research area is, but around that, where I put the square and the other circles and stuff, that is all unoccupied woods. I mean, because we're living in the house that my husband grew up in. So if you start walking from the house straight down almost and off to the right, it takes you about 8 to 10 hours to walk that. Yeah, I want to help too, Sam. So we've got to figure out how to find him and help him out. Get that up to subscribers so he can start going live. And I can actually still, I can go through those areas as well, because there's no homes there. It's all wooded area. I just need to make sure, like, my area is private property. I know the gentleman who owns it, and I'm allowed on that. I have permission, and I just want to make sure that when I continue to go onto the stuff that I have it. I can at any point in time, because there's snowmobile trails that lead all over this area. I can do those. I know that without any issue, but I'm very, very cautious. I don't like to step on anybody's toes, and I don't like to trespass if need be. So. Hey, Adam, my brother from another mother. Thank you for sharing the show. If you guys don't know Adam yet, he is Adam the Ghost Historian. He has his own podcast, Historically Haunted, that he does on Thursday nights. He's had some really, really major players on there, people that have been in the Stephen King movies. It's just, if you haven't checked out a show, you ought to check it out at some point. I just subscribed to Tyler's channel. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's what we all need to help Tyler out here and subscribe to the channel and stuff. Get Tyler up there so he can start doing lives again. So in this area, like I said, there's plenty of habitat, there's plenty of water, there's all kinds of different things to do. And what I'll do is I'm going to back out of this one. And then Richie was upset because I sent him this one. And he wasn't mad. He was upset. And he decided that he had to add to the thing. So we're all going to have a good laugh here, because Adam thought that it was, sorry. Richie thought it was very unfair that I left Stan out. So he added Stan to the map, although he looks like a very sad chalk outline. So I don't know what happened to Stan, but he's red, and he's been added to the thing because apparently I'm mean and I don't include Stan enough. So I just thought that was funny and it was a good laugh. So all right, we will take this off and I will show you the area that, okay, there we go. Thank you. The area of the new sighting that I had. I actually did a video. I didn't do a live. Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? Oh, and I'm going to ask anybody, please, 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 please tell me. It's USA. Yeah. If I freeze tonight or something, please put something into the comments immediately so I don't end up putting anybody through like major pain sitting there and I don't know that I'm froze. And hopefully the comments will let me know, because actually the comments stopped too. Hi, Daniel. How are you? So let's go to images again. Let's see. It doesn't really matter which one I go to. I'll go back up here and go to 4. And, okay, so this is. So when I got the report from the woman asked me if I'd seen, if I talked to my friend who had the sighting, and I said no. This is me driving 220 right after the bridge, and this is the tall grass. Just on the edge of the tall grass is where it had walked out of. I guess it was actually sitting on the person's property. She didn't tell me that until the day before because there's a camper in there, but there's also a brown house before the camper. It was the cat was sitting on the lawn, and when she was coming towards it, it stood up and it went through the tall grass here before it ended up going. It went diagonal, and it ended up crossing over by Goose River. And in the video that I showed when I was on the other side and where it had crossed, it has to go at a diagonal area because across the road is a electrified fence that goes down probably a good, I want to say 50, 60 feet down the roadway to the, just right up to where the guardrail is. And then behind the guardrail, there's a gap where you can get down in and head to the river. But this is the area where she had seen it. And like at first she did think it was a bobcat. And then she was like, that just seems really, really big. And when it came out through, that's when she noticed the thick tail and just how stocky it was. And she was like, there's just no way that that's what it was. And what I like about this area is Denny had asked me when I was talking about it, because I mentioned it in our podcast chat. And he was like, but is there a water source? And yeah, Gooseneck River it's just a small river. It's not very wide, but because this is the river when I went over to show when I crossed, because I had to walk across. There's a lot of construction there, so I knew that there wasn't going to be anything on the other side because there was too many tire tracks. But this is Goose River, and at the bottom where the grass is, there's actually a patch, but it drops down to the river. I did not go down that way because I am not as agile as a cat, and I probably would have fallen in. Oh, hey, William. Good to see you. I know. I heard you guys have had some nasty, nasty storms. I'm glad that everybody's okay, though, because some of those storms, I mean, I know that they've been knocking power out and everything. I'm just glad everybody's okay. It's just so sad that you guys are going through all that, but stay safe, please stay safe. And yeah, so I mean, this is one end of it. I mean, and you could actually kayak quite a bit of this, but it gets to points where it's just too narrow for a kayak or a canoe and stuff as well. This is actually one of the wider points of it. And on the other side, though, is where I was, and I was doing a live video. I was recording. I wasn't actually doing a live, which I should have, but I have not been having much luck, and I've got to try to fix that because I really want to be able to do lives when I'm out doing this research. And I don't know if this is the one or not. Like I said, these pictures are so tiny on the thing. Yeah, and this actually is the other side, and the little river, and it's small on the other side. It's not as wide on this side as it was on the other, but it leads to a little cove. And on the left side of the cove is that's where the tall grasses and stuff. So it's got plenty of area to get around. It's got plenty of water, and there's definitely a food source with the deer and other animals that are in there. And what I like is it's going to broaden my aspects because my eDNA study is picking back up. And hi, Johnny, how are you? And I'm going to be collecting more samples over the next 10 days to get sent out. And I'm going to use this area. And I'm hoping I will hear back from the woman about the photo that was released today. And maybe I can get there because where that one was very recent, I would like to get some eDNA samples collected for that and just go from there. And then I will show you the roadway where it crossed. But I didn't really see much. Richie did bring up a good point, though, is I am going to have to at some point not go on that side, but even the cove, I think I'm going to end up going down in the cove and just checking the water's edge and see if I can find any tracks down there. Yeah, it is really hot, but I'm telling you right now, in the last 3.5 weeks, I've gotten 3 sighting reports. It's picked up so much, which I'm so ecstatic about. So yeah, this is me driving, and so where the cat crossed, you see where the sign is, okay? It would have come out of the tall grass just before that sign on the right, and then it would have darted over to the left, but it would have done it at an angle. Well, like I said, okay, this area, and this is what I love about my area, okay, from where this bridge is, where this sighting happened, it is 5 miles from my house, okay? The sighting that I had in Cushing, and if I'll bring the map back up in a little while, but that's in another town over, that's 5 miles away. But like I said, walking from my house, if you go down to the right, that's a good 10 to 12 miles. And it's just, it's weird, but the section that I have, that's why I have a map that I take with me. I took it with me when I went to Charming Fair. It's got like a triangle, but instead of like, the Bermuda Triangle, it's the Waldoboro Triangle around where I live. And and the sightings that I've had now, if I span out on that, I've had sightings, that are, 10 miles away. But it's a very plush area, and it's had several sightings over the last 10 years, and even further back. I mean, 2006, I've got reports, and the woman actually did, it was a newspaper article where she woke up at 3 a.m. to get a glass of water, and there's a mama mountain lion and a juvenile in her yard that she freaked out. Hey John, how are you? Good to see you. And so, yeah, the area is there's a lot going on in the area. And that's why I like to concentrate my focus on here with the big cats. But I also like to focus it in that area as well. And let me see if I can pull that map back up again. For Bigfoot, for my Sasquatch stuff, because I've been doing that area for so long. And I've had luck in there before, but what got me when I first started doing it is I actually found a track line in there, and it was juvenile. It was similar to what I got in the mud and stuff. I mean, they weren't side by side. They were a good 3 feet apart. They were small, and I had shown them to somebody, and the person looked at me and said, "No, it's just somebody walking with those sneakers that had that looked like it had the barefoot for the sole." And so I kind of I was blown off, and I kind of figured, well, you know what, I won't bother anymore. But the more that I've been out there, and the more that things have happened and stuff, and being able to talk to Richie and Wojo and getting their thoughts and everything on it, it's turned into quite an area. Now, if you're looking at the map and you go to the right and down halfway past the halfway point, you'll see a little brown X. That's actually Cushion, and that's where I saw my juvenile. And like I said, they're all within, well, that is going to be 10 miles from the most current one, but from my house, it's where that one is 5 miles, 5.2 miles from my house, and back over to the other sighting is 5.5 miles, 5.3, somewhere in there. So they're all very, very close. And then, of course, you have all of that wilderness area in between, because there's no houses in there. And down here, there are a lot of snowmobile trails. They have some hiking trails, but the hiking trails don't go far in. They do have some by the Gooseneck River. There's a trust there where they end up having some hiking trails. The snowmobile trails take over most of the stuff. And on the other side, where I've found plenty of evidence as well, because that's where I found, I don't know if a lot of you had seen the episode. Hey, MS. It's good to see you. Sasquatch from Canada in the house. Benno, good day. Good to see you. Happy birthday, America. Yeah, 250th. It was a big one this year. Um, but that's where I found the tree root. No tree, just the root. It had been torn up out of the ground. It was fresh as anything. It was standing up. There was nothing the ground below it was moss. I mean, literally trying to walk out to it, I was like just shifting all over the place. I didn't even make it all the way out to see it. And then to have the sticks kind of going in and out was really weird. But I've also found X's. I have found, and there's one I'll show a picture of later, but instead of like an arch, it's almost like it looks like a bubble. They literally just turn the thing over and just attached it at the bottom. I mean, so there's been plenty of activity, and on that side as well, you get in there and it's all wilderness area. I mean, so I have a huge area that I can just constantly stay in. I don't really have to go anywhere, but I do when I get reports, because I think it's important if somebody reports something to you and you have a chance to go out and to look at the stuff, to, ask the questions, to see if you can find any evidence, to, answer any questions they have, and so I do that. And I am hoping beyond hope that I'll be able to do that within the next day or two. Like I said, from the trail cam photo that was put out this morning, that the Facebook group decided to take off their page. They removed it. By the time that I actually, because I messaged the woman earlier, because that was the first thing that popped up on my feed, and then I was going through the comments, and I noticed that my friend Chris Julian had messaged saying, putting my name down. But I had messaged her to find out if I told her the photo was very intriguing and I'd like to know more if she would be willing to talk to me. And she did reach out and she said, well, what are your thoughts? Because that's all she wanted. She didn't know what it was for sure. So she wanted people's thoughts. And I don't know if it was too much for the group or not, but they removed the entire post. Thankfully, I downloaded the photo, and I told her I did that. I downloaded the photo into my phone, and I reached out to the Vogels to get their opinion on what they thought of it. Their opinion was the same as mine, which was kind of very cool. I got a hold of Chris Julian, and I thanked him for reaching out. But I told him I had already seen it and got a hold of the woman. But I'm still waiting to find out if I have permission, because I won't go anywhere. I will not step on anybody's property without permission. I will not trespass. I just find it disrespectful. So I try to be as respectful as possible when it comes to this. And sometimes I'm told I'm a little too nice, but I don't feel that way. I feel that it's just like when I'm out there researching and I'm doing stuff, it's the same as Richie says, when I'm out there researching, I make sure I clean up after myself. There's no trace that I was even out there. It's a show of respect. And I try to do that all the time in my research. So yeah, it sounds like one, and there's plenty of signs. But it's just, trying to decipher things. Like when we were at Charming Fair, I did sit down with Wojo at one point. Hey, TM Drake, how are you? Yeah, it's a very big area. That's why I said I really don't have to go anywhere, because I have a huge area. And it's a nice area. On the edge there, you can see where the roads are and stuff. And then, like I said, I marked off the river that I'm talking about with the latest sighting. But on the other side of that, like I said, that's pure woods too. I have a friend that lives just down the road a few miles from me. She lets me put out trail cams. Got a couple coyotes. I put one out for like 2 weeks. I got a couple coyotes. I got a bobcat. I got plenty of skunk and raccoon, and a mama and baby deer, which she was extremely happy to see on there and see that nobody had harmed them. Yeah, well, that's what I try to do. Benno, is the reason for me is I love maps, and I have, and I will show it to you real quick here, because I play nice with everybody. Okay, even the ones that tell me I'm crazy. And right here, I have, from playing nice and sharing my research with them, I have an entire list of inland fishery and wildlife's mountain lion sightings from 1938 to, when was the last one? The date it shut off at. Okay, that's wolves. And I also have the wolf ones too. When was it? To 2023. And I also have a complete wolf sightings one that goes with that. And what it allows me to do is the areas that I've already researched, and the more people that I talk to and get more sighting reports from, it allows me to take, and I don't know if I can find them. Yeah, right here. There should be a couple of them, I think. Nope, that's paperwork. Hold on, guys. I do have a method to my madness here. I swear I do. I have topo maps. Hold on. I will be right back. Keep that up there for a second. And that's mainly what this here is, but I condensed it down to my area. But I print off all the topo maps for the counties in Maine. And let me just shut this down here so you can actually see this. And it looks like a giant jigsaw puzzle. I actually posted it once on my Facebook page that I do this. And what it is this is just one section of Lincoln County. And part of it actually goes into Knox County, which is, actually over here. Knox County is over here. And you can see, actually, this is one that I put the triangle on for my area. And then there's another triangle above it for a bunch of sightings that have happened up in that area as well. And what I do is I try to find patterns. And then having their list and my list, I can go over different years to see if the sightings are repeating themselves, because they will tell you up and down here that we don't have them. We don't have them. But the more that you talk to them and the more you tell them what you do know, what I have learned and stuff, it goes from they're not here to, well, it could possibly be one in transit. Okay. Because they've given up the pet thing with me altogether, because I literally am done with that one. But they get to the point where there's no breeding population. And it's like, okay, so what you're saying is no breeding population. But now you're just making it about juveniles. You're not making it about adults when you say there's no breeding population, because there can be adults, okay? When you're talking juveniles, you're saying there's no, male and female to cause the breeding. And it just gets complicated. So my work is to just try to decipher, try to find evidence, and just try to get things figured out. And by mapping the stuff and being able to do that, I find it easier, because that's what I look for. Like you said, Ben, look for patterns, look for different, even if it's not like the patterns, you might be able to find a den, which I am not saying they live in caves, okay? Because most of the time that is not what they live in. They live in thickets. They live in down, turned over trees, just like bears use them as homes. Thank you, Benno. I really try. Sometimes I think I'm too critical of myself and I don't do enough, but I really bust really hard to try to make sure that I'm doing this and documenting things the way that they need to be documented, and just trying to listen to people, because, I've been told over and over and over again that I'm crazy, and I'm just, a bunch of different stuff. And I just want to make sure that I give people a place where they can actually talk about it. And maybe that's not what they saw, but that's not my place. I can have my opinion, but I'm not going to tell somebody who's pouring their heart out at a story that, oh, well, that doesn't sound right. That's not what you saw, type thing. And let's see, because I have some other pictures too. So, so getting back to the research area. Hey, Mickey, how are you? Papa Squatch in the house. So I will go back up one more time for those who have missed it, just so that everybody can see it. with a research area, and then I will go on to the stuff that's been going on, because I have already posted a bunch of different stuff like the juvenile print and everything that we are not crazy. Well, yeah, So yeah, like I said, the red X near the top, that's my house and everything behind it. Even like off to the side, there's like some houses that go down along the roadway, but not many. Actually, where the curve is, right where it says the H for research, that is nothing but woods all the way over. And it's the same, just a little ways up on the other side. They actually put a gravel pit in there, so that kind of disturbs the wildlife. Hey, Papa Squatch. But yeah, so I mean, it is a large area. There's plenty of signs of different things. But like I said, I don't like to jump to conclusions on some things. That's why I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm finding with different things. But that's also what I love about being able to talk to Richie, to Wojo, to Sam, and stuff. Because of the fact that the other day when Lucy and I were in there, we had a little bit of a wind. And that's when I really wish that live that I had done had gone through, because that's when we had the baby fawn come out. And she was so excited because the thing couldn't have been more than a week old. I mean, it was still wobbly. It jumped out of the bushes, scared the crap out of her. And I think we scared the crap out of it. But it ended up staring at us for about 30 seconds, and then it ran up the road a little ways and then off into the woods. But we heard this sound that sounded like rubbing. Now, yes, it was a little bit of wind, and we were thinking maybe it was the trees kind of rubbing against each other. And once we stopped and we kind of looked in the direction it was going, we didn't hear it anymore. And then we turn our backs and we get again. And well, it happened like 3 times. So finally I grabbed my phone and I said, I'm just going to make a video. I'm not going to go live because it's not letting me, but I'll record this. And the second that I went to record it, it did not happen again. And it was very, very strange. And even Lucy mentioned the fact that she was like, I don't get that. She goes, where did the noise go? And I said, I know. And when I was filming, you could see the trees rustling. You could hear the leaves moving, but there was no rubbing sound. It was just really, really weird. Surrounding water bodies is there underground. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Rachel's Adventures. Oh, oh my gosh. My prayers. Let's all send Rachel some prayers and some positive energy. I'm so sorry, sweetie. Thank you so much for tuning in, though. We're sending definite prayers and hugs for you, okay? Yeah. So it's like, so yeah, there's plenty in there. And we're gonna remove and let me see what's the next one. But with the wildlife, I found this very, very interesting. And I want to share this because we have beavers down in there, and everybody knows about the stuff there that Richie had going on with the beavers. But I found this cute because I was like, this is weird, because the stick is like way too small for that, and it was way too high for something to be messing with. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it didn't bring it up. Damn it. What's this one? Let's see what this one is. Maybe. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And yeah, right here. This branch right here. This is, and you can see the chew marks. This is actually what baby deer do. And I thought that was really cute to see. They like to chew on it because there's something in the bark they like the flavor of. I mean, they don't eat the stuff, but they just kind of chew back on it and they'll break it. And this was actually quite a ways up, and I thought it was just really, really, really neat. I was like, oh wow, because it was something new. I learned something new every day. And I was like, this is awesome. Hey Tim, how are you? And go. I got to stop doing that. I always do that. Look off to the side when I'm doing that when I can look straight ahead. All right, image. And then in my area, I remember showing you guys a while back the bushes that were freaking trampled. Well, they weren't trampled. They were broken. They were twisted. It was a mess. And on the other side, though, the same types of bushes were not bothered at all. So when I was out there again, I decided that I was just going to take pictures of the twists and stuff because it's like that is not stepped on. That is not, a person messing with it. These things they're just twisted in, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Tim. I was wondering why I knew there was something in it that they liked. And I thought it was really cool that they would chew on this stuff because I was looking at it and I'm like, that's not a beaver, and it wasn't anything like Richie had found. And when I took photos of it and stuff, I found out that deer do that. Young deer do that to get to get the stuff out of the bark. It's very, very cool. Um, but yeah, so I mean, there's twists, there's breaks. I found my juvenile print in there. I set up last week. Not last week, the week prior. I went over the gifting area that I did, and that has nothing left. The rock is on the ground. One of them's on the ground. The other one's gone. The duck's gone, but the tape measure was flipped over and moved on the thing. I've got to get back out there. I wasn't able to make it today because I was trying to figure out if I was going to be taking a 3-hour trip down east to try to get some evidence down there. Yeah, well, we do have moose here, but they're random. They're actually on the other side. I was driving the other night back home, and I looked down one of the skidder trails that we've got, and I was shocked as anything to see one just standing right there. But yeah, these marks were so tiny. It was just really cute. I was like, wow. Well, like I said, I like it because I learn something new every day. It's very strange that way, but I have so much fun with it. And let's see, because I also know too. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull up that one, because I know when I'm in there, Richie has this thing where he's like, he doesn't like the X's on the ground or like the glyphs and stuff. Where are my files? Come on. Okay, yeah, it's right there. So it's right here. So this was what I was trying to tell him a while ago when I first went in to my area. It was a couple weeks back. I had gone in again. Well, in my area, they're seldom. I mean, they're around a lot more than they were when I was kids. But up north, there's still a good population of them. Very good population of moose. The ticks, though, are doing a number on them. But when I went in and I was talking, and Richie had said something, but it's like this was on the ground in front. Nobody had been through there. It's just me that's going in there. And he's like, well, they could fall, they can do this, which I agree. I mean, I found plenty that probably just wind blew stuff down and it landed funny. But what I found with this one here, and I decided to do, was I took a picture of that, and then I took a picture directly above it. And yeah, there's this huge gap. Okay, these things are like on the other side. So there was no way for those just to kind of like, I'm trying to rule out stuff is what I always do. And yeah, there's up above, there's no way that they fell that way. And if they did, they'd still have leaves attached and everything else, because like I said, I was in there. I've been in there a lot, and I'd already been in there like a few days prior. And when I came back in, that was there. Big boy. Thank you, Denny. So yeah, it's like when I'm out there too, that's the other thing. It's like I'm trying to figure out what could cause different stuff. I mean, because I know weather can cause a bunch of different stuff when it comes to like these these tree bends and stuff. But if I'm and like questioning the things because I'm literally like going, I don't see how it's possible. I will get second opinions. I've done it before. Usually when I ask Richie anything, all I get is, it was the magical whirlywinds, which I have to laugh at, but it's because it's funny when he does that to me. Because that's usually what he gets from a lot of people is, it's the magical whirlywinds. And all right, so I'm trying to figure out, I've got a couple more things here. And let me see what else I have up here. I think I've gone through all of those photos. I try to keep them small because this thing does like to sometimes not pay attention. Yeah, I've already lost one. Let me see. 5's map 3. Okay, yeah, this is the new area with Lucy. Because Lucy decided we're gonna go right in here, which I thought was kind of cool. Because this was one there. It's like the back side of it. It looks kind of funny. It looks just like a big weird, one's going up and the other one's kind of curved. But when you get around to the other side, that's when I was like, what the hell? And yeah, like that, what the hell? And I had to take another picture because I was like, this is not normal. This is not magical whirlywinds or anything like that. I did take a video of it too. But yeah, it's like you've got one coming in this way. You've got one going over this way, another one going over this way. Oh, thank you, Jason. I have not heard of any mountain lions attacking moose. No, I have not heard of any attacking moose because technically, they're not here. And I have had newspaper articles where somebody had reported one attacking a bobcat and stuff, and it's actually a newspaper article that I have. It wasn't reported to me; it was a newspaper article that I found, but I have not seen any or heard of any attacks on moose. The thing with mountain lions is their main priority food is deer. They will eat grouse. They will eat just about anything. I mean, they'll eat mice, field mice. They'll eat porcupines. It's just but deer is like their primary food source. Anything bigger than that, they take a risk of injury, especially like if you've seen anything with like the ones out west that go after elk and stuff. Moose have horns, and they've done damage to humans. Imagine what they can do to a big cat that tries to attack them. And that's usually how the big cats with like the larger animals like moose, elk, caribou and stuff, they end up getting, they can get stabbed with the horns. So they don't usually mess with anything that big. Yeah, so, it's just, I haven't heard of anything here because of the fact that they're not supposed to be here. And I haven't seen any reports. The only report, like I said, was the one that supposedly attacked a bobcat. And the gentleman actually took the bobcat to the state biologist to have it inspected. And let's take this one off. And there was something else I wanted to show you guys, and I can't remember where it is. Oh, it's 4. No, that's not 4. Oh, it's the zip, the one that didn't go in. Okay, yeah. I was looking for it. That is so cool. And they don't mess around with Jim. Yeah, that's right. M.A., they don't mess around with Jim. I'm trying to see. I thought I had some other ones, and it doesn't look like those ones downloaded. So I'm going to see if I can back out of here real quick. I'm just going to keep talking to you guys. It shouldn't cut me out. If it does, I should be right back, but I need to download one more so that I have some more photos. We're probably going to go over the 7 o'clock mark, but I really Um, this area is like I said, this is the one that I research. This is the one I'm in the most, and there we go. Okay, hopefully that one went in. Let's see if it did. Can I come down? Yes, it did. All right. I'm going to crowd back out of here, and I'm coming right back. Well, well, well. Well, Benno, let me tell you what. They say wolverines are extinct in here, but I actually sent a picture to Mr. Tinsley, and I sent another one of the same animal to Mr. Richie B. Explained the post that was put on there. I tried to reach out to the woman, but there's no way to message her on Messenger. She has her, it's like a private page that she has. And the picture was a picture that her and her mom took. It was from, was it 10, 15 years ago? Okay. And she had shown it to the biologist, and she just brought it up as conversation. And you're looking at this picture, and everybody in the comments is telling her that it's Fisher. It's Fisher. Now I'm looking at this thing going, this don't look like a Fisher. And so I sent it to Mike, and I sent it to Richie, and to Wojo, and I was like, thoughts, please, because this is what I have. And literally both of them were in awe. And yeah, we all agree, even though we're told no, it's a Fisher, it's a Fisher. It definitely looks like a wolverine to us. So I had joked with Richie that, I got to expand my discoveries here, not just for mountain lions, but for wolverines as well. And that's what the eDNA, my BT, there's my BT speaker. And yeah, it's just with the eDNA and me expanding areas, which is what I'm trying to do with it. I'm trying to get permission to be able to do it with it, because I just collect the samples. But I want to broaden it because there's such a general base. In my area, it's good. But if I can get to other areas where other things have been spotted and seen, I think that would be very helpful in trying to pinpoint whether or not this is what people are seeing. But I need to be able to do it in a timely fashion. Like when I get these sightings, like the one that I got today, I still haven't heard from the woman. So the longer it takes for me to hear from her, the less likely I'm going to find the evidence that I'm looking for, because it's, after a few days, the DNA just kind of, that's in the area. It's not like it goes away, but it's not going to be as, I don't know how to put it. It's just timing is everything when it comes to this. So, hello, Kelly Porter. How are you? All right, so let's see if these downloaded so I can show you what I was talking about with the photo of the little bend, which I thought was so cute and tiny. Oh, which one am I on? Oh, no, that's not the right one. This is the one I want. All right. I think this is it right here. But I thought that this was, yeah, it's like this little bend in the tree. See, it starts there, but it comes around, and it is actually tied down on the other side, which I thought was like so funny. Oh man, Benno. Yeah, I I do think that they're still there. I don't care what anybody says. I've never heard. No, there's different. My research goes around the mountain lion sightings, which are they're called ghost cats. It's one of 40 names that they have. But there are cryptid ones like the Wampus cat. I still learning about that. I don't know much about that one. And there's others. I mean, I was told about a werecat that I had no idea anything about. So I have, yeah, so I'm right there with you on that, but there's cryptid cats out there that I know nothing of, um, and yeah, so I just when I learn stuff, it's like I'm still working on some stuff because, William had asked me to, read up on stuff, so I'm doing that because I go down rabbit holes, and as in when I say I go down rabbit holes, let me see. This is the paperwork that I have got that I'm working on for one of my shows. And this is for D Hoot, okay? And it's a cat's eye one. And it's just because there's so much that goes around that when it comes to the cat's eyes, the history that goes with Egyptians to the mythology on the alien aspect of it, that I am diving into all areas. So I have a lot of work cut out. I've been doing this research on this one for like 2 weeks, so it's gonna be full, and D Hoop better show up because this one's for her. Let's see. All right, so I think I have one more image here that I was going to show, and then yeah, this one here. This one is complexing to me because I do think that this could be a bunch of different stuff. But this is, like I said, this isn't in my research area. This is off to the side. This is another area I can research. I'm out there all the time, but it's not what I call my research area. No, I have not. PW, I have not. I have not seen any witchcraft or symbols like triangles or pentagrams with that at all. No. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't do much with the UFO stuff. I don't really know anything about that stuff. I'm always here. Yeah, but see, you're lurking in the background. I called you out, and look at that, you're here. Yeah, there are, but I don't know much about those ones, BMO. And it's good to see you, BMO. Yeah, it's like I said, I don't know if it's a structure, if it could be what it could be. It's just one of those that caught my eye. It looks like an X, but then when you look, I mean, because it's like two of them, there's one in back and one in front. But then when you look at the area and stuff, you kind of have to question things. But I took photos because I've learned from the best there, Tim. Okay, you and your brother have taught me, document stuff. When in doubt, Eric told me cast it, so I do that all the time. And just try to keep track of things. See, Curious is the one. Curious, if you want to know anything about that stuff, Curious is awesome and amazing at this stuff. Okay, I have learned so much other cryptid cat stuff from her, and I love it. Because I try to I hate to say this because it's like everybody has their own thing. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of different stuff. Oh. I try to when I'm available. Many magical symbols. Richie has found these stick structures based on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you. And these little symbols and structures and stuff, that's not something I'm familiar with and stuff. So, and the UFO stuff, I'll tell you right off the bat, I have zero knowledge. I mean, I talk to people about the UFO stuff, but I honestly have none. I try to just stick with what I know. I love conversations and learning stuff. Like not big in, I don't do much with paranormal because it creeps me out, but I will listen to other shows. I will listen to people talk because the stuff is fascinating as heck. And I say more power to them because yeah, I would rather be out in the woods with something that's 8 to 10 feet tall that could rip me to shreds, or a cat that could rip me to shreds, than deal with something that could follow me home and torture me for the rest of my life. Wow. It's not witchcraft. Yeah, see, there we go. What did Miguel say in response? I don't know. Um, and then the last ones are not from my area. It's from one area that I used to research a while back, and I want to get back up there. And the reason for that is because there's been multiple big cat sightings in this area, and it's near a bog. And if I can get it pulled up. And that is one big kitty track. That's the measurement from the side. And the reason that I say kitty track is because there are no claw marks. The toe that's off towards the corner there, that's actually a leaf in front of it. That was in front of it, and actually on the other side there too. And there, it's like, oh, I'll grab the other one because it's a big track. And I do want to get back up in there again because I love that. Okay, last one. Oh, stop doing that. Yeah. And it is over 4 inches. Yeah, it is a big print. And it's over 4 inches wide. And yeah, it was about the length was, I can't remember because I couldn't see it that well on this one. But yeah. I used to go to that area all the time because actually Sam used one of the photos from it when I went up in the winter time of one of the tracks and the ice, the snow and ice. So like I said, and there's been multiple sightings over the years in this area as well. And I have a ton with the reports, like I said, that I got from cooperating very nicely with Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, the multiple page from 1938 to 2023. So, and they're in that area and surrounding towns around that area. It gives me a really, really good yeah, that's what I did. I didn't have something because I actually have, I don't have it in here. It's in my car right now because I thought the other day when I went to the new sighting thing there, I might actually be able to cast track. But I have like this can now. It's about like, about probably 5 to 6 inches deep, but it's a good diameter around that will actually set over the stuff. So I just pour the plaster in. But since I did not have anything to be a barrier, I ended up using sticks, which was, it wasn't supposed to be art. It was supposed to be so when I poured the plaster in, it would stop it from, continually going anywhere and then give it time to dry. Hey, Wes, how are you? Well, I had two. There was another one beside it. Well, actually further back. I didn't bring those on because these ones were the ones that stood out the most because it was right along the edge of the road. And actually, we missed them the first time we went through, and I actually caught it the second time. And what it did was it came out of like the woods, and then it kind of like, I don't know if it stopped in the roadway there because you could actually pull your car off. And I don't know if something was coming and it just darted back in, but it was just two, like, front and back, and they were kind of, opposite side. The other two were would have been in the grass area, like it was coming out, but just darted back in. So it's hard to say. All I had was the two tracks, and then I had some smaller ones, which I don't think you're going to be able to see the prints that well. These ones were tiny, tiny little guys, but they're dirty as crap, and I don't think they're going to show up. But these were found the same day, and like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to see them because they're still, I got to get all the stuff off, but they're definitely little cat prints that do not have claw marks in. There are no homes in this area where this was taken. This is all a bog area. But, and like I said, I might try to get a picture of it because I don't think you're going to be able to see it very well, but that is, if I hold it right, you can get like the couple of the toes and stuff and the paw pad down here. But like I said, they're messy and they're not very deep. That's why it was hard for those ones. I casted the other one, the other two, but that one there, I wasn't able to get the smaller tracks casted, but yeah. Let's see, what am I missing here? Miguel says black hole in ground. Richie, you have to check this out. So, yeah, so that's what the topic was tonight, was just to kind of give you guys more knowledge of my area, where I do my stuff. So when I talk about it or when I bring something up, you have a better understanding of how much area I have, because there's a lot there. And like I said, it's not just where I'm at. If I go over here, I've got just as much on this side, which is where I've found other things as well. But all in all, I'm going to close the show. I appreciate everybody stopping in, especially since I know everybody's busy with the 4th of July festivities that have been going on and everything. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. And remember Tuesday night to check out Wojo on Home of the Boom at 7 o'clock. He said he'll be back. And then Miss Sam will have a pre-recorded show for you on Friday night at 9 p.m. She still has family in town, but she is still going to upload a show for you guys. So make sure you check it out. And then Saturday night, the big boss man, the man, Richie B, will be back. And I will be back Sunday, just trying to figure out if I can get that show together in time. If not, I'll come up with something else because I want to make sure that this show with Cat's Eyes for D-Hoot is the bomb, because I worked really, really hard. So, and good night, D-Hoot. Good night, everybody. And remember, when it comes to research and life itself, because actually after the last couple of weeks, I really have been saying it a lot. You just got to say, what the hell? Good night, everybody.